All right, everybody. Thought I would just do a little update video here. I've been just kind of putting around and knocking out a few of the little interior things, trying to get it done. The interior is not done yet. I still have quite a few little things I want to get done, but at every little step we get a little closer. So probably some of the cosmetic things I done on the outside here is I added some graphics there. Thought that kind of broke it up, gave it a nice look. Added my little advertisement, vanity or stupidity, or probably both, but nonetheless, there it is. And we got some more graphics on the side. I like how that looked. I thought it turned out pretty nice. Let's go take a look at the inside. Now I got the door insulation in place. Keep in mind, guys, a lot of this I'm still finishing up. Let's jump on inside. It's kind of hot out there with the sun. And I made this little, I'll probably use it as like a little spice rack, or, you know, who knows, maybe you could put a couple other little odds and ends in there. But that's just scrap. That's just some cedar scrap that I had laying around. Put that together real quick, and I think that should provide some pretty useful storage. And guys, these are just little ideas I did here. Take them or leave them. Shock cord, S-H-O-C-K. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. It's kind of like a bungee cord. Bought some of this on Amazon. I've used it before on other projects. I really like it. And I'm not necessarily going for any particular style in here, but you know, there's some modern elements, and you know, all of these cabinets and everything. This is all actual wood, so it's got some you know, kind of a mix of old and new, I guess you would say, as it's turning out. So I thought I would I intended to have these cubbies open. I wasn't going to put any doors or anything on them, but I definitely do need some sort of retaining mechanism, so for whatever I put in there, they don't come out. So I just kind of went on took a little leap here and said, well, why not drill a hole, and obviously on the other side run them through. There could be other methods of attaching it, but I just put little knots in there. I'll have stuff in there that'll cover it up, and have a little shock cord across the front. And then this thing, you know, has a little bit of movement up and down, of course. And I think it's going to work out pretty well. So for like this little cubby down here, I told you this was going to be my one burner stove, and this works out really well. Little bungee there stops it, so it might be a little solution you guys might want to take on. Works out pretty well, pretty inexpensive, doesn't need a bunch of hardware, and I expect it should probably hold up pretty well. I had put this in a while ago, but I also have a little shock cord up here. This will just be an open cabinet. All right, what else do we got here? So I added in a couple more things to kind of finalize the power system over here. So we got a couple straps. That's to hold down, you know, this is obviously the power bank and kind of the whole electrical ball of wax there. So I use these footman's loops that came with the kit, and they're just like little straps. Put it over. I got it on Amazon. Let's see what the buckles look like so you guys can see. So this isn't a ratchet style. This is a I don't know what you call it, but you basically pull, and to release it you'd actually push this, and to tighten it you just, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but you just kind of pull on that and I'll tighten it down. So those have held up well. I don't know how this will hold up well, but I was clearing out some of the packaging for this power bank here, and when it was shipped, it was sitting on a piece of foam, which is what you see there. It had some sides on it, but I took the sides off. And my thought process is I'll put the foam down there, and we'll put the power station on top of it. Maybe not the most cosmetically pleasing thing you've ever seen, but my thought process is, particularly if you're off-road and bouncing around out in the desert, you know, that little foam cushion underneath will give it you know, a little bit of protection. I'll be honest with you, I've used power banks and batteries and a lot of other things and other builds, and most of them I mounted straight to a hard surface, and I've never had an issue. So this could be overkill. I just was going through the packaging, I had it, and I said, well, you know, let's give it a shot. I will admit it is kind of slowly compressing the foam. I keep having to tighten these up. I don't know. It may not work out in the long run. It may just kind of deteriorate and kind of collapse onto itself. But yeah, I don't know. We'll give it a shot. Might be food for thought. Like I said, I added in a couple switches over here. So just standard switches here. Got one for the outside light, and this other one right here. I switched the fridge on that because right now is a great example. There might be circumstances where you might want to come in the camper and turn on the power bank so you could have lights on. And I'm running the vent fan, for example, now, but you know, I don't necessarily need the fridge on, so it's nice to always put a switch on that. And then this upper one, so this is nothing new. But this is the lights, and you know, so you shut them off, and it's got a little ring light, and there is a way to shut that off, but I like the ring light, so I'm gonna leave it. But what's really neat is if you long press this, let's open this up. I think you guys can see it functions as, there we go. I think you guys can see it light up. Let's see it dim down. Okay, I'm gonna hold up here to the lights. Let's see if I can get both angles here. So watch the light in the upper right hand corner, got a little brighter, and then you long press and it gets, oop, that's off. Then you long press and it gets dimmer, and then wherever you stop, it locks it in. So if you shut it off and then turn it back on, it's on whatever that dim setting you had. So I've put dimmers in most of my campers, but I've always used the little twisty knob ones, but this one actually worked out really well. I thought it had a nice, clean, sleek look, and it's a lot easier to use than you would think it would be. Got the water system in place. We've talked a little bit about this as time went on. So just a 7-gallon Reliance water tank, and I've got it strapped in with that seatbelt nylon buckle there. And then up here on the top, this is just a residential sink. I believe this is intended for a bar. I think they call this a bar sink. I like the residential sinks because they use just regular residential plumbing stuff as opposed to getting some RV specific sink. And if you get like the bar ones, you know, this one's definitely small enough. So I liked it being way off to one side. It's big enough to use, but you know, gives you all this usable countertop space here. And underneath, and again, I just went to Lowe's, you know, one of your local home stores. Very simple plumbing. Basically, it's just a down pipe. It screws on to the drain basket that was included with the sink, and then that has a hole that just goes right out the bottom of the camper. Let's go take a look at that. So up here is where that drain pipe came in. I attached an extension. It's black. All I could find was black. And then this portion here that just angles out. And this will just drain on the ground. If you wanted to, you could easily put some sort of narrow water catch, like maybe something the size of like an antifreeze bottle. I haven't actually even tried this out yet, to be honest with you, but I think it'll be fine. You know, I'm not it's not like I'm running gallons of water through that sink. I'm mostly just using it, you know, wash hands, brush teeth, maybe a dish or two here and there. But a very simple plumbing system. And again, all that stuff you can just get at a local home store, which I really like. Makes it really nice and easy. And then, so the water system. So we have the 7-gallon tank. Just a little tube there, and then that comes up here. And you guys have seen these before. I've talked about these. This is just a device that you buy on Amazon. It's basically has the faucet shape and the hardware, and it has a little battery inside, and it's USB rechargeable. And then of course it has a pump. So I have no water in there, but you can hear it. So you just hit that button and that goes, and then that would pull from the tank, drain in the sink, go straight down, roll out the outside of the camper. Very simple, inexpensive, compact plumbing system. Nothing elaborate, but for a camper like this, I think it's just perfect. I'll probably do a little video later just to specific to this water system. But I do always get a lot of questions about, and this is just a friction fit. Nice thing is you can pull this off if you needed to fill up a water bottle. So what I did is you just get these on Amazon. There's a ton of them. They're about, I don't know, $12 to $25 usually. But I just took this into Lowe's, or my local home store, and I went to their PVC fitting section. I don't even know what this fitting is for, but I just took this out and started. I found in the past that there's a lot of these fittings that just happen to have a perfect friction fit with these little pumps. These are actually intended to normally be sitting on like a sparklet style water bottle. And so this one's a nice tight friction fit. I just painted the fitting, like the only thing that shows is just underneath here, but just so it's same black. And this thing sits in there, it doesn't fall off or anything. And it just makes for a nice, simple, inexpensive, easy sink system. I guess my point to that is I always get questions about what this specific fitting is. And what I'm basically saying is just, if you want to do something similar to this, just buy one of these pumps, walk into the home store and look around. I actually found a variety of different fittings that fit pretty good. This one fit the best. And then as far as how to attach it here, I just drilled a hole the size of that and put a little adhesive in there and just put it in place. And that simple, that clean. Yeah, so I think, as you guys can see, I got the mattress up there. I just threw some bedding in there for now, just to kind of, I had it in other places in the house just to get it away. I think I talked about this, but I added a little housing fitting over here, so that has a cigarette lighter style socket and a couple USBs behind here. So that's just over here in case I want to use it from the bed. Yeah, but that's about it, guys. What do I have next? I need to address this. I got to put I'll put a few pieces of cedar just to clean that up and make it look nice. I actually have a Lagoon, Lagun style table mount. I think probably most of you guys have heard of that before, but if you're not, you'll maybe see it in the next video. But that will bolt there. It's one of those table mounts that swivel. I'm not going to have a big table, but I'm going to put a little tabletop here. That way, if you're, you have a little table right here. Of course, you have a lot of other places. This is a pretty small camper, so it's not that big of a stretch to stretch out. But you could put something up there. Of course, you got this great big countertop here. But I'll put a little table. I don't know how the height will work out, but in an ideal scenario, I want it high enough where I could just kind of swing it over the top of the fridge when I'm not in use, or kind of swing it over on this side. But yeah, man, guys, it's coming along pretty good, and I like it. It's every little thing that a lot of this is cosmetic now, little trims and little fixes, but the more and more you do in here, the more and more it feels real cozy and like you're at home. I've put getting more and more miles on the camper, and it seems to do pretty well. Like I said, city driving, it does excellent. It's almost like it's not there. Freeway, you notice it, but it's nothing dramatic. It's definitely doable. I don't have any gas mileage figures or anything yet. I haven't been that systematic yet, but yeah, I mean, it does real well. It's very drivable. Is it better or worse than any of my other campers? I don't know. I still haven't made up my mind. I'm guessing it's probably it's doing good. It's probably somewhere in the middle. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate all your attention and comments, and and all of your enthusiasm for the build, and means a lot. You know, all the loyal watchers and all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys so much for everything, and I'll catch you up later.